My dear friends, when we turn the pages of the Acts of the Apostles, we discover not only the birth of the Church, but the very heart of God, revealed in a restless movement across borders. It is striking. Our faith did not begin in the stability of stone temples or secure homelands. It began with a call to Abraham to leave, with a Joseph carried into Egypt, with a Moses standing barefoot on foreign soil. And when Stephen, filled with the Spirit, recounted this history, he declared that the God of Israel was never bound to one plot of land, one nation, or one temple. He is the God of all the earth. To be his people is to be a migrant people. Think of that for a moment. Migration is not an accident of our history. It is the very fabric of salvation. The story of God is a story on the move. And what does this mean for us who live in an age when nationalism rises like a clenched fist, when strangers are turned away, and immigrants are treated as though their very existence were illegal? It means the Church must remember its identity. We are not the guardians of borders. We are the witnesses of Pentecost, where every tongue, every nation, heard the mighty works of God in its own language. Pentecost is the Spirit's great refusal to let one language or one culture dominate. The Spirit blesses diversity, and in doing so, creates unity. My friends, this is the paradox of the gospel. We find unity not by erasing difference, but by welcoming it. And so when the migrant comes with another tongue, another custom, another story, we are not diminished. We are enriched. Any ground on which they stand, any home in which they are welcomed, becomes holy ground. But Stephen also warns us of a danger. Passion for homeland can become idolatry. When loyalty to the nation overshadows loyalty to God, when we mistake the kingdom of Caesar for the kingdom of Christ, we risk stoning the prophets anew. And are we not tempted by that idolatry in our own time? To measure a person's worth by their passport, to decide who belongs by the drawing of a border. Yet Peter learned in the house of Cornelius that he must call no one profane or unclean. If God has poured out his Spirit on all flesh, who are we to exclude? Even the very messengers of Acts are hybrids. Stephen spoke Greek as well as Hebrew. Paul was both Jew and Roman citizen, able to walk in many worlds. Their in-between identity was not a weakness, but the Spirit's instrument to spread the gospel far and wide. Today, migrants carry that same gift of hybridity. They hold together old and new, homeland and new land, and in that weaving they teach the Church how to live as one body with many members. The social sciences tell us that integration, not assimilation, not segregation, is the healthiest path for migrants, and Acts itself bears this out. The early Church did not erase cultures, but allowed them to blend in a Spirit-filled community. This is our charge, not to demand that newcomers be like us, nor to leave them isolated, but to make a space of genuine exchange. Beloved, the Acts of the Apostles is not simply a history. It is a summons. It calls the Church in every age to live as a migrant people, to resist the idols of nationalism, to proclaim that every ground can be holy ground, and to welcome the stranger as Christ himself. For did not our Lord say, "I was a stranger, and you welcomed me"? Pentecost fire still burns in every tongue, every face, every weary traveler seeking home. Let us be a church where that fire is not quenched, but fanned into flame. A church of radical inclusivity, whose very identity is to say to the migrant, the refugee, the stranger. You are ours and we are yours, because together we belong to God.